weapons overnight. Fewer secondary students in the region pursuing tertiary education, says UWI Pro Vice Chancellor. And in sport, another day, another record for Dylan Carter.
Live from 11A Maraval Road, this is TTT News at 6:30 p.m.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ayana Carter. Welcome to TTT News. In our top story, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has seized 604 illegal guns to date for 2022. This includes the seizure of 4 firearms overnight. In various police exercises on Friday night, police officers seized one AR-15 rifle fitted with a magazine containing 29 rounds of 5.56 ammunition, 3 homemade shotguns, and 1 magazine containing 10 rounds of 5.56 ammunition. Police arrested a 56-year-old Manzanilla man with 3 homemade shotguns during a road exercise in the area. In Mova, police officers searched several vacant lots of land in the Westmore area. They found one AR-15 rifle fitted with a magazine containing 29 rounds of 5.56 ammunition. At an abandoned house at Coco Street, Santa Cruz, police officers found a black plastic bag with 1 magazine containing 10 rounds of 5.56 ammunition. 7 foreign nationals are now in police custody after 4 raids in East Trinidad on Friday. According to a TTPS report, 5 Chinese and 2 Venezuelan nationals are being questioned by translators in connection with money seized at 4 gaming houses during the raids. The raids were carried out at King, Queen, Green and Farfan Streets in Arima. The ages of the Chinese nationals are 27, 32, 47, 48 and 52. While the Venezuelan nationals are aged 22 and 31. 6 churches in the central region banded together on Saturday to take back their communities. Noting the rising levels of crime in societies across the country, Chairman of Churches in Action, Natalie Paul Harry, said they had decided to reclaim their communities.
We will be moving to 6 locations. We're starting here, then we're moving on to Das Trace grounds, we move on to Postman Drive grounds, then we move to Chrissy Trace grounds.
Ms. Paul Harry said she expected that the walk would be a success, as she and other members of the community had placed their faith in God.
We take up at Freedom Street bandstand, and we would close off at the African grounds with a concert. We're in a warfare, but our weapons are not physical. God has given to us authority in prayer, and through praise and power, we know that chains and fetters and yokes can be broken.
In other news, Minister of Public Utilities Marvin Gonzalez is blaming the conduct of members of the House as the main reason for qualified persons declining to serve on state boards. The minister was speaking during the debate of the Civil Aviation Amendment Bill 2022 in the House of Representatives on Friday.
Oftentimes, the Civil Aviation Authority, throughout the last 20 years, I can tell you, would have gone on for several periods without a board. Not because we have the absence of citizens who are qualified, but citizens who are willing to come forward and offer their services to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. And this is what this clause is seeking to do.
The amendment is seeking to remove the 2 consecutive term limit for members of the Civil Aviation Board. Opposition Member of Parliament for Oropuch East, Rudal Munilal, in his contribution, called the amendment unnecessary and not effective for good governance in this critical sector.
Those of us on this side cannot understand why the government, the cabinet, all cabinet members are here, including members of the government and so on, could not have found 6 persons, of which 2 are already nominees of EMA and THA, could not have found 4 persons qualified in law, financial management, economics, and civil aviation, and say, let's put our board together, a new board.
The term for the last board of directors expired in September 2022. Pro-Vice-Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, Sir Hilary Beckles, says the low intake of tertiary-level students can seriously impact the region's economic growth. Here with the details is Terry-Ann Brown-Campbell.
Describing the 2022 UWI Roytech graduating class as a minority within a minority, Pro-Vice-Chancellor of the University of the West Indies, Sir Hilary Beckles, highlighted some startling facts to the graduates.
In our Caribbean region, those who have participated and those who are participating in the journey of higher education represent a very small percentage of our population. The statistics in themselves are very disturbing.
He added that most regional students are not even pursuing any post-secondary education. And he highlighted the consequences of these low tertiary numbers.
There is a direct correlation between the percentage of citizens in the society who have had the benefit of higher education and the potential of that community for sustainable economic development.
Sir Hilary said these figures were for the hemisphere from Alaska to Argentina. He made his comments as he gave the feature address at the UWI Roytech 2022 graduation on Friday. Terry-Ann Brown-Campbell, TTT News.
More to come. Stay with us.
I love the look and smell of litter. From this huge pile, I can see that many people also find it attractive.
Yes, Charlie. Litter is indeed attractive. It attracts roaches, flies and mosquitoes, and rats.
My pets.
Don't be a litter bug, Charlie. Do the right thing. Don't litter.
There is no need to suffer. You can come down to the Optimal Life Wellness Center where it is safe, it is affordable.
You don't have to take my word for it. You can come down to the Optimal Life Wellness Center and see for yourself and experience for yourself what I have experienced. The life I now live is a lot healthier and more fulfilling. These products have actually given me a sense of a future and very, very important.
Anime Caribe launched its 2022 week of activities with a press conference on Thursday. This year, the first in-person sessions were held since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. This week's session saw contributions from regional and international participants. Among those participants was international animator from Frames Studios, composing supervisor Adrian Nurse. He explained what sparked his interest in anime.
I always wanted to know, how is this possible? How is this explosion actually happening? Because it can't actually be happening. So I always wanted to know what happens behind the veil. And when I did, I just wanted to learn more and more and more and more.
Former student of Queen's Royal College, Mr. Nurse was part of the team that won an Academy Award in 2018 for Best Visual Effects in Blade Runner 2049. He shared this piece of advice for those who want to follow in his footsteps.
What I'm always interested in is not individual rock stars. I want to see a group of people who could work together and produce something. I don't need to see an individual who is the most amazing in the world. I want to see a group of people who are willing to work together and learn and bring each other forward.
Work from animators from across the Caribbean was featured in this year's 20th edition of Anime Caribe. After a 2-year hiatus as a result of the pandemic, Tobago students returned to the stage on Thursday for the Lambo Credit Union's 26th Verse Speaking competition. Carissa Douglas reports.
21 students from the kindergarten to primary school level competed in 3 categories of the Lambo Credit Union's 26th Verse Speaking competition. After 2-hour-long finals, Signal Hill Early Childhood Center's tiny Megan Phillips wowed the judges with her articulate and bold presentation of the poem Life's Steps.
Sometimes we take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. Some of us take baby steps, some of us take giant steps. But the secret is not to let that 1 step back turn into a failure.
In the junior category, Aaliyah Guy Taylor of Plymouth Anglican with her animated presentation gained her the top prize.
We all have a choice to climb our highest mountain or fall into our deepest hole. To drink from life's fountain or to live life like a troubled soul.
And Wim Anglican's Kaylee Thomas was the senior category champion, presenting What I Want.
I have made the choices. I have held the thoughts. I have taken the actions to create my current reality. And I have the power to change it into whatever I want it to be.
This year's verse speaking competition was titled Give Youth a Voice and Inspire Greatness. Caricia Douglas for TTT News.
It is said that sometimes if you don't find your passion finds you. For tonight's Generation Next segment, Carrie Roberts learns the story of how a great passion unintentionally pulls on one musician's heartstrings.
When one refers to music on a violin, it is almost automatic to think about it being a rendition of one of the great classical pieces by the masters of times gone by. Darren Dennis, better known all over social media as Mr. Strings, is doing much to change that though, as his violin covers transport the perception of the instrument well into the 21st century and across a plethora of genres.
I would say I began violin not on my own accord. It was actually my sister's idea. It was I never really wanted to play the violin. It was always my sister's idea to play the violin, and one day my parents got her a violin, and Darren, being the youth man he was back in the day, couldn't see his sister get a violin, and he didn't get one too. So the dog had to get one. They ended up getting me a violin as well, and I stuck through with it, and I must say it was a God-given talent which my sister helped me reveal. Let me start by saying I have taken violin to a more contemporary level, something that you don't usually see or you don't usually class violin with, right? When you think of violin, you usually think more classical type instrument, right? And here I am playing soca, playing dancehall, playing these kind of songs on the violin, right?
While the pandemic posed major challenges for many industries, none more so than the entertainment and arts, our quick-thinking violinist was able to pivot his approach and make the most of his talent.
Throughout the COVID pandemic, that was one of my highest points via social media. Definitely. Right? I use this downtime as a time to promote myself. Right. This is the time that everybody would have been home, everybody would have been on their phone, bored, and I gave them entertainment. I provided entertainment throughout the entire pandemic.
With one mission checked off his list, Mr. String sets his sights higher.
I believe I reached one of my goals as of lately, which is to become the most followed violinist within the region, right? Of course, we don't want to leave it just to the region, but we want to be known on a more worldwide level. So that's the next goal, you know. The next goal is to do some traveling, get my name out there, right? I believe the Caribbean has already been covered.
And as social media influencers become de facto role models, our talented music teacher leaves a nugget of wisdom for the young ones.
Stay true to who you are, do what it is you love, and put God first in everything.
In closing, when your passion beckons to you with its tune, don't let anything or anyone keep you from it. Rather, learn its chords one string at a time. I'm Carrie Roberts, giving voice to Generation Next for TTT News.
Remember, you can keep up to date with all that's happening on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TTT Live Online. Up next in sport, TNT picks up 5 medals on day 1 of the Caribbean Cycling Champs.
On the first day of Christmas, my sweetness gave to me a chance to make my Christmas merry. Sweet 100 will be the sweetness this Christmas as we celebrate the sweetest 100 days of Christmas. We're set to make your Christmas brighter when we light up the Christmas tree with 100 bells. There are 100 gifts under the tree. One of them could be yours. Simply count down the sweetest 100 days of Christmas with us. And when you call, give us the correct number we're up to in the sweet 100 days of Christmas. Give us the access phrase, on the day of Christmas, my sweetness gave to me. Make those your first words to us whenever you call, and you could win a gift under the tree. So join us for My Sweetness Gave to Me on Sweet 100.1 FM, celebrating the sweetest 100 days of Christmas. Sponsored by...
Records fell on Friday as the National Open Short Course Swimming Championships continued on at the National Aquatic Center in Balmain. After a blistering prelim swim, Dylan Carter was again in the spotlight.
Dylan Carter's imposing form in the pool precedes him, and all eyes were on the FINA World Cup champion in the men's 100 meters freestyle final. Carter led from the very start and opened up a big gap after the second lap. He returned a time of 46.02 seconds to improve on his 46.07 national record set in Thursday's prelims. Nikolai Blackman was second in 50.76 and Johan Matamuro third in 52.20 seconds. In the girls 11 and over 50-meter backstroke, Ornella Walker was also in record-breaking mood. Her time of 29.17 seconds erased Kristen Julian's 2014 Carifta mark of 29.84 seconds. Gabrielle Vickles was second in 30.80 seconds. Alyssa Reed was third in 31.77. In the boys 11 and over 200-meter medley, Nikolai Blackman touched the wall in 2 minutes 11.49 seconds. Josiah Parag was second in 2 minutes 12.65 seconds, and Carrington third in 2 minutes 13.81 seconds. Amelia Rajak won the girls' race in 2 minutes 36.03 seconds. Caitlin Lukfong finished second in 2 minutes 38.13. Kiara Goodridge was third. In the girls 11 plus 200 meter medley B final, Sydney Lukfong won in 2 minutes 40.03 seconds. Her teammate Sienna Jagdeo finished second in 2 minutes 48.89 seconds. Asia Marie Pouchette was third. Won the girls 11 and over 100 meter freestyle, finishing in 1 minute 3.92 seconds. Maiden Edwards was second in 1 minute 5.09 seconds. Sienna Jagdeo was third in 1 minute 5.76. Gabrielle Vickles was first home in the girls 100 meter freestyle A final in 59.98 seconds. Karen Burke second in 1 minute 1.72 seconds, and Amelia Rajak third in 1 minute 2.49 seconds. Aaron Stewart won the boys 11 plus 100 meter freestyle, finishing in 53.35. Levi Smith was second in 54.62, and Liam Carrington was third in 54.71. The 4-day championships continue this evening and come to an end on Sunday. Jovan Ravello, TTT Sport.
Trinidad and Tobago picked up 3 gold and 2 silver medals on opening night of the Pan Am Cycling Federation's 2022 Caribbean Track Cycling Championships at the National Cycling Velodrome in Cuba. In the men's, TNT beat Cuba to the finish to grab gold in the elite team sprint. The team of Ryan Diabro, Zion Pulido and Kwesi Brown dug deep to bring it home for TNT, 46.594 seconds to claim gold. Alexi Ramirez, Phoebe Sandy, and Adriana Say-Jagat won gold in the elite women's final. TNT's Maurice Burnett Scratch raced silver, and bronze medalists Tariq Woods and Enrique de Comamond and Liam Trepidi finished second in the elite men's team pursuit. Cuba won gold in the event in 4 minutes, 21.642 seconds. TNT finished just short of gold in 4 minutes, 22.987 seconds. Samuel Maloney, Jarrell Mohammed, and Devante Lawrence picked up a TNT 1-2-3 in the junior men's elimination final. TNT's men's and women's sevens teams had a better showing at the Rugby America's North Sevens today. The TTO women ran to a 39-0 win over Bermuda in their first match of the day. On the men's side, TNT lost 26-17 to Jamaica, but recovered with 2 consecutive wins over Curaçao. Before the break, TNT won 19-5 and improved with a 24-7 victory in the return fixture. Both FIFA and CONCACAF are happy that Trinidad and Tobago will have a new domestic football league in the near future. The TTFA Normalization Committee proposed the start of a new league in 2023. Kent Fuentes has more.
The news of a new domestic league for local football has been a breath of fresh air for those involved in the industry. CONCACAF's head of professional development, Jonathan Martinez, is happy that government is also playing its part in getting the game up and running again.
I'll start by saying, how exciting it is to see the government at the table with the TTFA, with FIFA, with CONCACAF, pushing forward this collaborative effort. And it's something I think that we're at the CONCACAF level, we're really excited to see, clubs qualifying out of the league into regional club competition. I think it's something that we've missed, and we really, really look forward to having clubs from Trinidad and Tobago participating in CONCACAF regional competition.
Adding the anticipation is there to see the league getting started.
So we really look forward to, the official launch to the league, and I think we're really looking forward to seeing, which clubs qualify out of this league into the CONCACAF regional club competition. I think Hervé touched on it. It's Trinidad and Tobago is a global brand. It's globally recognized. I think it's recognized here within CONCACAF. We've missed seeing teams from Trinidad in our regional club competition. With the potential to be at the CONCACAF Champions League at the highest level.
FIFA's Regional Office Development Manager, Hervé Blanchard, gave commitment from the world governing body for the sport to have the league back up and running.
I would just simply like to, in very few words, reiterate the support of FIFA to the TTFA, to its normalization committee, to all the stakeholders involved in football in this beautiful country, that FIFA's commitment and support to see the game continue growing, to developing the game from grassroots to the elite will continue.
Kent Fuentes, TTT Sports.
West Indies under-19 women's head coach Steve Liebert says the upcoming series against India A, B and Sri Lanka will be key for the team's preparations ahead of the 2023 under-19 T20 World Cup. Since arriving on India's east coast earlier this week, the team has trained at the Dr. Reddy International Cricket Stadium for the 4-match series. West Indies begins the campaign against India A on Sunday at 9 a.m. local time and will play 2 other matches on Tuesday and Thursday. They'll then head to Mumbai, where they are due to face New Zealand women under-19 in 2 matches at the D.Y. Patil Stadium. Liebert says improvement is the overall aim. More to come. Stay with us.
Sunday, December 4th, 2022. Gates open 3 p.m. Showtime 4 p.m. 11A Maryville Road. TTT Limited Car Park. Home. The Gathering. The Gathering. The Gathering. The Gathering.
Come on and tell your story. Come on and tell your story. Come on and tell your story. Motivated every day. Living in victory every day. Living in victory every day. No matter what they say. No matter what they say.
Nico Larson Live, living in victory every day, coming to TTT.
It's about that line that I'm trying to establish. Eventually the line would demarcate, it would describe, it would alter something, it would give form to life. I'm moving towards something that awaits me to complete itself, something that awaits me to complete itself, and perhaps fulfill me, only perhaps.
For the period tonight and tomorrow. Tonight, fair with occasional showers occurring after midnight. Tomorrow, mostly hot and sunny despite a few showers. There's also a 40% chance of isolated afternoon heavy showers or thunderstorms. Night will be fair with a few showers expected after midnight. Gusty winds and street flooding may occur near heavy showers or thunderstorms. Seas slight to moderate. Waves 1 to 1.5 meters but up to 2 meters in open waters, and below 1 meter in sheltered areas. Starting your own business is not just for adults. And as a matter of fact, lots of children have delved successfully into the world of business. In tonight's Feel Good Moment, we meet a few of them. This week's edition of the most magnificent Walk Through the Castle experience featured workshops, games, and an added treat, an artisan market comprised of children involved in business, or kidpreneurs.
The only reason I am where I am is because people gave me opportunities, so I wanted to extend it to our community. I mean, these are the kids that I know from the brand, and we are actually going to try to do something a little bit bigger, a little bit wider, inviting more children to come and showcase their talents.
Meet 14-year-old Sammy, the young man behind the brand One Tough Cookie, who told us what kinds of cookies he sells and some simple advice for other children.
They have chocolate chip cookies and gluten-free cookies. Don't take too long to start a business.
First-time author, 11-year-old Mila Smith, and her mom Lindsay chronicles Mila's challenges following being diagnosed with dyslexia at the age of 7 and how she overcomes them.
It's just a story to help me build up my confidence, and it tells kids that they just need to focus on all the things that make them so special.
1 in 5 people is dyslexic. It's a very, very common thing.
And author of 7 books by the age of 7, Corinne Clark.
I just thought of stuff I like to do with my family, and I just basically put it in a book.
The most magnificent Walk Through the Castle event closes on November 19th. This is TTT News. On behalf of all of us here, have a good night.
50 by 20, 50 by 25.
This is Kyron Pollard. When you play, do it the legal way.